Hello, people. My name is Patrick. If you've watched my videos, you're gonna know that this one's a little different already. If you haven't, if you're watching this video is going to be a lot different than pretty much any video I've ever done. Today is May 2nd, 2022. And I wanted to record this, but I don't know what this is going to look like. This ride is just a simple ride home. I'm not going any scenic route. I'm just getting on the highway and heading home because it's late in the day. No fun, happy little moto vlog. It's just me talking mainly to Mitchell. Now, I don't know if Mitchell, you'll ever watch this. I hope you do. I don't know if I'll ever release it for anybody else to watch it. I might not. That all being said, I guess it kind of gives you the hint that I'm not sure of anything at the moment. Yesterday, I got that call that I never wanted to get. Now, I'll go ahead and say everything's good. No, could have been a lot worse. But yesterday, my son called me. He had gone out on his bike, and he had an accident. Of course, it happens. You know, what's the old saying? You've either put your bike down, or you're going to put your bike down. Well, he put his bike down. He broke his collarbone, and that's about it. Could have been a lot worse. The bike sustained minor damage, cosmetic mostly. Could have been a lot worse. For some, specifically in this community, recent events have been much worse. But I've been trying to figure out what I've been feeling. When he called me, of course, I asked, how bad was it? I asked him, are you bleeding? Are you concussed? All this stuff. He knew he had a broken collarbone, and he said he thought that was about it. So I grabbed my ramps, called a buddy, riding the thin lines. Thank you so very much. I went to Mitchell as quick as I could, riding the thin lines. Came along and met me there and helped me get Mitchell's bike up into my truck so we could bring it home and so I could bring Mitchell to the hospital. Poor kid had to endure hours and hours of pain before he finally got some pain medicine from the emergency room doctor. And that stems from the fact that where he was is a long way from anywhere. If it had been a major injury, it still would have taken a while to get treatment, but an ambulance could have got there and started treatment immediately. Fortunately, that wasn't a problem. When he first called, because he was in such a remote area, the phone wasn't connecting. The phone would ring. I answered it, but I couldn't hear him. The first time that happened, I thought, oh, maybe he butt dialed me. But then he tried again immediately. I still couldn't hear him. And I thought, uh-oh, something's wrong. I tried to call him, couldn't get him. Then he called the house phone. I answered it. Still couldn't hear him. Finally, at one point, the call went through, and I spoke to him, and he told me what had happened, told me where he was, and of course, I went to get him. But I had those moments when that first phone call came through and I couldn't hear him. I was worried. I didn't know if he was trying to call me from his helmet, if he was pinned under the bike, you know, anything. Of course, I'm a dad. All the worst case scenarios went through my head. And so my emotions skyrocketed. I was worried, I was scared, I was nervous, I was panicking, you know, whatever the emotions are, I had them. I was a little calmer once I realized that he was okay. But on the drive out there, all the other emotions came in. Worried about him, worried about his bike, worried about his future on bikes, worried about his future at work. All of it. And then I got to feeling guilty. You know, I believe I had a lot to do with him wanting to ride motorcycles. I never even thought about discouraging it. I encouraged it. I wanted him to ride motorcycles. We've been practicing. I've been working with him. I've been riding with him. I've been riding fast with him. There's worry. There's guilt. Did I have something to do with this? Was he going fast just because I go fast? Was he going fast to prove a point? You know, was he purposely trying to get low and hard into a corner so that he could scrape his pegs because he knows I scrape my pegs a lot? All of it started running through my mind. But the biggest thing was worry. That few moments when I wasn't sure what happened, when I wasn't sure how severe, when I wasn't sure if I was going to see him again, scared me bad. I've had a rough night. We didn't get home from the emergency room until very late. I did not sleep well because all of it's running through my mind. Had a horrible day at work today because I couldn't concentrate. Partly because I didn't sleep, partly because I worried about him. Yes, you know, it's just one of those things I've got to accept that as a parent, I'm going to worry. I'm going to worry all the time. But that worry was a little less when it was just it could happen. Now that it did happen, again, it scared me. I just don't know what to do with my own emotions at this point. Mitchell, I love you to death. You are my entire world. I ask you to please keep that in mind when you're out riding. Please. that your mother and I do not want to get a phone call that's worse than what we got yesterday. All that being said, Mitchell now, that could be an accident waiting to happen. All that being said, Mitchell now has talked about, you know, he definitely wants to get back on the bike, which I think is awesome. I think it's going to be a while before I feel like I won't be a nervous wreck when he does take off on the bike. But I also am glad that he's not giving it up. I'm also glad that this didn't scare him into not wanting to ride again. You know, he's already talked about ways to improve the motorcycle so that he can continue to ride the way he does now, the way he enjoys riding. I can't even imagine what it would be like for a parent who does not ride to have a kid who does. Like I said, there's another couple in this community who very recently had their child involved in a motorcycle wreck. As far as I know, he has zero culpability for it, 100% someone else's fault, but it doesn't matter when the damage has been done. They both ride. But what about that parent of a child, and the parents don't ride, and the kid goes out, and as a parent, you know the dangers, you know the worst that can happen, and you think of the worst that can happen. As a rider myself, I kind of put it in my head that, well, I've been riding for this many years, never even come close to hurting myself on a motorcycle. So I kind of had it in my head that, well, you know, it can happen. He can ride and maybe he'll never get hurt. Can't say that anymore. So anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do with this video. I don't know if this is just me trying to vent some of this built up emotion. I may just give this video to Mitchell. I may just leave it for Mitchell somewhere so he can watch it someday when I'm gone. Let Mitchell let you know you scared the shit out of me, kiddo. I'm raw right now, and it's just kind of coming out through this microphone and into that camera. You know, I'm a mailman, I'm a motovlogger, but I'm a parent first. I try to do my job to the best I can. I try to do the motovlogs the best way I can. Try to be upbeat, try to be positive, try to be encouraging. Sometimes life throws you a curveball. And I know that my work suffered today because of it. I know that there was no way I was going to be able to do a hippity-happity motovlog today. But I wanted to do something to get it out there. I wanted to do something to to vent a little. I do know that talking to the camera is all well and good. I think I'm going to go home and give my son a hug and tell him how much I love him. Tell him to be careful. Tell him to remember me in his helmet saying, decreasing radius curve, I can't see the exit, so I'm slowing down. So there won't be any slow speed practices with him anytime soon. He won't be taking the MSF course anytime soon. Broken collarbone, bruise on his elbow, probably a bruise on his hip, a cracked headlight, a bent headlight, handlebars aren't exactly where they should be. Other than that, they both, he and the bike, got off real lucky. Alright folks, I don't know what else to say. It's hard to vocalize emotions. It's hard to put into words feelings. You know, feelings can be indescribable. And I'm feeling like right now, that is the case with me. Not only can I not describe my feelings, I don't even know what my feelings are. I think they're changing from second to second. You know, I'm feeling guilty, then I'm feeling, nope, I don't need to feel guilty. I'm feeling guilty. I'm feeling happy that he's going to ride again. I'm feeling scared that he's going to ride again. I'm feeling happy that he's, going to be perfectly fine. But I'm feeling sad because he crashed. It's a difficult thing to sort through all this. And when you're tired and emotionally drained, it's even harder to sort through it all. So Mitchell, if you've watched the video this far, I am so very sorry that happened to you. I'm so very happy you want to continue riding. I'm so very scared you want to continue riding. I look forward to riding with you again. I'm scared to death to ride with you again. I can't wait till you get better so that you can start doing things again. I'm scared that when you get better, you're going to go out and do things again. I love you, Mitchell.